We're here today to talk about the Theatre for Children season of the Dublin Theatre Festival. And
It's been renamed this year. The name has changed. It used to be known as the Family Season,
that's right.
but now it's got a new name, which is Theatre for Children.
That's right. And one of the things that we wanted was to include the word children in the title, just to have them at the centre. Everything in the Ark, we tried to be child-centred, and I suppose it's to make that message as clear as possible. But also I suppose we haven't had a change with the family season in a long time, and this is one of the oldest partnerships that the Ark
It's been going for more than 20 years at this stage. I suppose the important thing to say is, despite the fact that the title has changed, and for the reason that you mentioned, is that of course it's not just children who are welcome, but anybody who might be interested, but the focus is on children when you're choosing the work.
Absolutely. And obviously I'm aware from travelling around and seeing the work that the work is very interesting and stimulating for people of all ages, but we are looking to provide culture for children at the Ark, and I feel very blessed that this is my job. I get to go out and look at these shows and frequently find myself sitting with my legs crossed on a cushion of 11 o'clock of a Thursday morning watching children's theatre.
Sounds uncomfortable.
It can be at times, but I'm delighted to present the three shows that we have this year for our audiences at the Ark and for the audience of the Dublin Theatre Festival.
As you were mentioning earlier on, this is where it's a little over 20 years since the Ark and Dublin Theatre Festival have been collaborating. I know what it means for the Theatre Festival. It means we can avail of your expertise and your kind of sensitivity to the things that ought to be considered when programming work specifically for children and for the people who like to attend the theatre with them, or like to attend the types of performances that are put on. But what does it mean to the Ark to be part of this larger Dublin Theatre Festival platform?
Yeah, what's lovely for me is when I travel internationally around Europe, mainly to festivals of theatre for children, and if I say I'm from the Ark and I'm the curator of the Theatre for Children season in the Dublin Theatre Festival, people recognise the Dublin Theatre Festival as an internationally known brand or market. And
they're very kind.
Yes, but the Theatre Festival is running, you're going to be 60 years next year. So the festival is very well established, very highly respected, and people are delighted to be included in that. And people also really respect the fact that the Dublin Theatre Festival include theatre for children in the season and recognise the importance of theatre for children, and it's not relegated or it's not dealt with differently in any way. The production values, the writing, the performances, everything that's in the season for children is of the same standard of any other theatre within the festival, and that's recognised internationally and also appreciated both by the theatre sector but also by our audiences. And what's lovely for us is, by being part of the Dublin Theatre Festival, we have an opportunity to share with our audiences in Dublin international work of the highest standards. And also what I love is that a lot of Irish actors, performers, writers, producers, directors come along and see the work, and some of them have been inspired by the work that they see during the family season in the Dublin Theatre Festival to produce work themselves in Ireland.
And indeed, certainly for a long time it was mostly international work, but a welcome trend in recent years is that we're actually contributing our own productions with companies like Theatre Lovett or Branner or Wilfred having performances in recent Dublin Theatre Festivals. I guess we take for granted that, as you mentioned, Dublin Theatre Festival has work for families, for children, but in fact when you look elsewhere in the world you'll either find none at all or you'll find the Theatre for Children in a standalone festival without actually work for other audiences.
Yes, or it's included in a venue that's inappropriate. Like, we frequently would have international companies travelling to us in the Ark, and they are delighted to come to a purpose-built space for children, and they're not having to adapt their work or work around seating or an area that's unsuitable for their audience to come into. They know that we take the work that they're doing very seriously and that their audience are central in the venue that they're coming to, so that really works.
Yeah, it makes a difference because everybody it's not a new thing. They're year round they welcome young audiences.
Yes, exactly, and we know the audience and we know their needs and requirements, and we cater for that here. And the other thing just to say about in relation to the importance for us as being part of the festival, as you know, we've recently been awarded EU funding, and we've partnered with 4 other international festivals, and the Ark were able to do that because we are partnering with you in the Theatre Festival, and we are going to be working to develop artists' work and develop it to an international standard. And we're going to be working with artists from 4 other European countries, working alongside Irish artists, which is really exciting.
Who are the other countries?
So we have Belgium, Denmark, Scotland and Norway.
Wow.
And I think as a result of that, I would hope that we're going to see more Irish work, like the companies that you just mentioned. I think as a result of this 2-year project that we're doing called Push, I think we're going to see more Irish work being made, possibly in collaboration with international partners.
I mean, we're a member of a European network. It's really beneficial, not just because of the extra financial support, sometimes it's actually quite modest, but the conversations that you have with practitioners over a long period of time. And of course, the opportunity you hope to try and recommend or promote our local artists so they can have a wider career and wider experience. And again, ideally, if not leading to collaboration, but kind of an expansion of their horizons in terms of the kind of work that they think they can make.
Yeah, so we're going to be bringing those artists to those other festivals, and we're going to be bringing artists from those countries to Dublin Theatre Festival next year in our 60th year. So we're delighted with that.
No, it's fantastic, because oftentimes I guess it's the programmers who get to travel, but artists, unless they've got specific support for it, don't so easily manage to do it.
Yeah.
So that's great.
And the difference that it makes to their own practice when they see international work. Yeah.